وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. سبحانك لا فهم لنا إلا ما فهمتنا إنك أنت الجواد الكريم. والرب زدني علما. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. ولله المشرق والمغرب فأينما تولوا فثم وجه الله إن الله واسع عليم. Sadaqallahu Mawlana al-Azim. So after hearing yesterday about the announcement from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that no one could be more vile and more wicked and tyrannical than those who prevent people from frequenting and participating in the activities of the masajid of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where human beings are, they are developed into human beings. This is the factory, the masajid of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the factories of producing real human beings, those who have proper belief sets and proper behavior. So obviously preventing such activities and preventing the places, the masajid of Allah from being frequented is going to bring a stop or halt to the very purpose for which the humanity has been created for. And thereafter Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions, وَلِلَّهِ الْمَشْرِقُ وَالْمَغْرِبُ. To Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the east and the west. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all directions are belonging to Him. He is the creator and the controller of all directions, and He has encompassed all of them with His knowledge. He sees all and He hears all. فَأَيْنَمَا تُوَلُّوا فَثَمَّ وَجْهُ اللَّهِ. So wherever you point, to whichever direction you face, there you will find Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You will find the countenance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَثَمَّ وَجْهُ اللَّهِ. Literally, you will find the face of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In other words, wherever you turn, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be directed to you. So then, what is the context of the revelation? So the context of the revelation is that the continuing again with the narrative, with the continuing narrative here in Surah Al-Baqarah, almost 3/4 of the entire Juz, is the narrative of Bani Israel and the Jews of Medina, who also, as we mentioned earlier, they rose objections. Okay, you were facing our Qibla, you were facing Bayt al-Maqdis, and that was for about almost a year and a half after the Hijrah and arriving to Medina Munawwara. And of course, Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, his heart was always connected with Makkah. He was first cast out of Makkah, and where the Qibla of the Muslims was at that time in Makkah. Then after coming to Medina, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded them to face towards Bayt al-Maqdis. And probably among the hikmah, we can't understand all of the hikmah, but perhaps one of the most apparent would be to attract the people, the Ahlul Kitab, who had been living there and actually living in anticipation of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So now after coming to Medina and facing Bayt al-Maqdis, now the order comes to face, again, return back to facing the Kaaba. So now the Jews say, okay, what is this? You were facing our Qibla and the Qibla of all the Anbiya, now you've turned back to Makkah. So this sounds like it's something, from you. It has nothing to do with the orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala refutes that claim. And it is to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to designate a particular direction for the directions of prayer and the directions of ibadah and ubudiyah. So the question may come, and we have a number of masail that are connected to Qibla, so we won't try and mention all of them today because it will be a bit time consuming, so we'll mention a few of them. Number one, what would the wisdom be for having a Qibla in the first place? Why not just pray anywhere you face? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be, observing you and being aware of you, and He can, turn His attention to you wherever you happen to be, or whatever direction you turn to. So what's the point of turning to a particular direction? So there's two main purposes that we can easily understand. Number one, focus. Suppose a sermon is taking place or a lecture is taking place and everyone's looking here and there. So obviously there's not going to be attention. So one is that we are focusing on a particular in a particular direction. This will help us focus spiritually in a particular direction. So on the individual basis, it helps us and gives us direction, it gives us concentration and focus. At the same time, it has a unifying factor, because now, as we see that the Muslims of the entire world are all focused in one direction. And this also produces an amazing spiritual energy that, La ya'lamu illallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone, knows its power. And probably some of you, or if not all of you, have probably seen pictures of just, during the time of Hajj or time of Ramadan, when the Masjid al-Haram is packed, and you have the worshippers all around the Kaaba Musharrafa, perhaps, in the tens of thousands of them. And they're all standing, and they're all bowing, and they're all prostrating, all unified, facing one direction. And that's circular. It is something amazing, you see. So it gives the individual focus and concentration. It also gives a sense of unity and communal and unified focus and concentration to the entire ummah. And above and beyond that, there is hikam, and there's asrar, and there's secrets and mysteries which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone would know. وبالله تبارك وتعالى. So inshallah we'll continue with various masail and various important issues connected with Qibla, inshallah, in the next day or two, بإذن ta'ala. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.